All right, everybody. Happy Saturday afternoon. This is Luke, Captain Carnivore, and today I'm getting ready to make one of my favorite things in the world, at least when it comes to snacks, and that is my famous beef snacks. This is a big meat squeezing tube. I call it my meat zuka. So basically, what you do, let's see here. I think I'll go like this. I got it all loaded up with hamburger from Costco. And we're just going to make some long strips here. I'm going to fill up my dehydrator trays. And I think I'll come in from this side. That way I don't have to fight my camera too much. Knock over the tripod. That'd be my luck. So I hope everybody's having a great weekend so far. I'm probably it's feeling a lot nicer here. It's cooling off a little bit from being like 180 to 250 degrees, it felt like, to down into the 80s, almost turtleneck weather. So, yeah. So snacking on carnivore. This is this can be an area of debate, but when I feel like I need the snack, I reach for one of two things, both of which I make here at home. You're looking at one of them, which is arguably one of my favorites, which is nothing more than dehydrated burger. And as soon as I'm done with this row here, or this plate, my favorite seasoning, if you want to call it that, and my only seasoning that I use nowadays is nothing but salt, Redmonds salt primarily, and some Malden's flake salt. But today we're going to use a personal favorite of mine. I'll show you here in a second. I'll put my meat zuka down. Rinse my hands real quick. So everybody's familiar with Redmond salt. And we're talking real salt by Redmond. I buy it by the bag. But now, you want to spend some money, get the good stuff right there. Smoked Redmond real salt cherry. They have hickory. Heck, they may even have mesquite. I don't know. I just go cherry and I don't look back. This stuff is great. So put it in my little fancy dancy little teeny mason jar. And I just sprinkle the top of each one of these bad boys. And if you go a little heavy on one as opposed to the other, well, charge extra for that one, because that just makes it that much more better. I love salt. It's pretty important for the way I eat. There we go. One tray down, and I don't know, 5 or 6 more to go. Okay, be right back. Okay, let's get to loading this next tray here. So this is kind of the most time-consuming part of this deal, is laying these things out. This particular gun that I've got here actually comes with a number of different attachments. It can make like pepperoni stick style round ones. I've done that before, but quite honestly, this is my preferred method. So I don't even bother using anything other than this. I mean, I even have one that's got a double barrel on it. It's got two, it shoots out 2 things at once. It's like, I'm just interested in keeping my life simple. I'm not in that big of a race to make beef sticks. Although maybe I should. They are that good. Some people might argue like, oh, you know what? There's no flavoring. There's no seasoning, outside of my salt that I use on it. But you know what I mean? Like, either barbecue seasoning at the very least, or I don't know, like a jerky mix. Now I have nothing against any of that. As a matter of fact, my kids, oops, I guess we're out here. My kids request jerky for holidays. That's the gift that they ask for every year. Thanksgiving, birthdays, well, any holiday that they can think of, they can get away with me making a batch of jerky. They're all in. But regardless, I don't do that for myself. I just keep it simple: meat and salt. All right, let me load this Zuka back up, and I'll be right back. Okay, here. Let's pick up where we left off. Now that I got my meat Zuka locked and loaded here. So I mentioned earlier that this is one of two of my favorite snacks. The other favorite snack that I really indulge in frequently are brown butter bites. And once I started making them, I think I might have developed a habit. Obviously there's, like everything else on the YouTubes and heaven knows where everywhere else, there's plenty of how-to videos, how to do this, how to do that, and the other thing. Brown butter bites are pretty simple and basic. I don't use any radical different technique or method, but guess what my secret ingredient is? That's right. Everything gets my Redmonds smoked salt or my Malden smoked flake salt. Either one. As a matter of fact, hold on just a second here. This is what I'm talking about right here. This is pretty good stuff. This is a big old tub. This is how big is that thing? I don't know. It's got to be a pound or two or four, something like that. 500 G's. So this is some good stuff too. But today we're rocking it with the Redmonds cherry smoked salt. So anyways, back to the butter bites. So I'm making these butter bites, and like anybody else does, you put a couple of sticks of preferably Kerrygold butter. That's the only butter in around here that I really get excited about. And you cook it down. You cook and cook and cook it until it it goes through all the stages of whatever it goes through. Reduce it, and when I'm happy with it and it starts to, I don't know, I guess it's caramelize. I don't even know what it's called. Anyway, it starts to turn brown, like, I don't know, hence the name brown butter bites. I pour them into a candy mold. Let me grab this one right here. Like this. These little silicone candy molds. I just got squares because I don't know, my wife says maybe she'll agree. I guess I'm square. Anyways, pour them in there, sprinkle the salt all on top of each one, throw them in the freezer, and voila, hour or two later, you got butter bites. As a matter of fact, let me go load this tray in the machine. I'll be right back and I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm back. So these are my little container of brown butter bites that I'm making. You can see the little specks of the salt. And they've got little, I don't know, brown butter on the bottom. And this is like carnivore crack right here. This stuff, if you don't like butter, well, I can't help you. I, for one, I love butter. I love butter, and I eat, but well, obviously I eat butter by itself. I mean, butter, yeah, brown butter bites. That's what I do. Now, if I'm cooking a couple of burger patties, which I do a lot, that's my main source of food, except on the weekends I might do a tri-tip or two or four. But if I'm doing a burger patty, and one of my favorite things to do with a burger patty is smother it with just regular butter, just just a copious amounts of regular butter. Or if I'm really feeling radical, I'll take and put a couple of brown butter bites on top of the burger, and let it melt over the burger. And heaven help me, that is amazing. But then again, since I eat a carnivore lifestyle, if it's got beef and or butter in it, I don't really think you can go wrong. I haven't been able to yet. So let me fill up this tray, and I'll get back to you in a second. Okay, let's put a little bit of my favorite salt on there. So this meat zucca that you see me using to squeeze out these strips, you know, this is kind of the Cadillac way of doing it. I did it for a long time. I mean, we're talking, well, I've been eating carnivore for, I don't know what, 2.5 years or whatever it's been. So I did it without this meat zucca that I call it. I literally just took parchment paper and, you know, spread it out on my cutting board, took a big fist of ground burger and put it on the board, put another piece of either wax paper, parchment paper, whatever the hell I had on hand, over the top, use a rolling pin, roll it out, take the top layer off, score it with a knife, peel the pieces up, put them on my rack, and dehydrate. So the dehydrating part of this, I'll get to that here in a minute. Let me load this tray, and we'll keep this going. All right, that YouTube is amazing. I can pause that, go do a couple of things, deal with the grandson. He comes out here. I click a button, come back. You guys just, maybe a second's gone by. For me, it's been like 5 minutes. Anyways, let's load this bad boy up here. We've got what, one, two, we got 2 more trays after this. And, or whatever we have left for meat. That's kind of the deciding factor. I actually went to Costco this morning, which is what I normally do on Saturday mornings or every other Saturday, depends. Picked up a couple of packages of burger and some other stuff, like, I don't know, butter. I bought some more butter. So anyways, talk about dehydrating real quick. So hey, listen, I don't know. Dehydrating meat, you know, there's no preservative. This isn't food storage here. Food storage is relative. This will probably last me, I don't know, a week. You know, I make this about once a month. It's not a real staple for me. I mean, obviously burger is, but these beef sticks, these are, when I go to work, and occasionally, I only eat once a day, but occasionally, depends, I guess it probably depends on what I'm doing, whether I'm doing something, it depends on what I'm doing at work, I guess. And I feel the urge to snack, maybe out of habit, I don't know, doesn't matter. If I need a salty snack, if I either turn to my butter bites or I turn to these beef sticks. Well, it just so happens I have plenty of butter bites. I just showed you, I got a whole container of them, but I haven't had beef sticks for maybe a month, my beef snacks. And well, I just, you know, I throw these in my dehydrator, bag them up, put them in the fridge. I don't know how long they last. Never bothered to find out, because they really don't last more than a week anyways, because I eat them. Occasionally my wife will have one. She doesn't find it too detestable for her taste, and she doesn't eat carnivore like myself. But if she eats something and doesn't spit it out, well, then it's got to be good, the way I look at it. Some might say, my God, he's putting a lot of salt on there. Yeah, I'm sorry. Salt, especially this Redmonds smoked salt, is so good. Highly recommend it. Let me load this up. Be right back. All right. So let's talk about the dehydrator for a minute. I am using, and I'll show you possibly here in a minute as soon as I get this loaded up here. I got my camera all wired in on my tripod, and I'm a one-man band today, so I can't really walk around too much. But anyways, so my dehydrator, I use a simple Kasori. It's pretty entry-level, simple. I think it's got, I don't know how many trays I have, 7, 6, 7, 8 trays, whatever it is. Uh, the thing is a kind of a beast. I mean, I love it. I love it. I mean, I only use it for, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I dehydrated. I love I love dehydrating. I mean, all my beef jerky I've ever done. I've done bacon, which let me tell you, uh, be prepared for a grease mess when it comes to dehydrating bacon. And some might say dehydrate bacon. I mean, bacon's 80% fat. Well, it's not. You're essentially you're cooking the bacon. You're just cooking it. And yeah, you're dehydrating it, but um, I mean, you just kind of eat it like, at least I do when I make it. I just eat it like I would with regular bacon, on a plate of eggs, whatnot. So anyways, I've done bacon, but last week my wife bought a watermelon, and her and my grandson were eating the watermelon, but they weren't eating all of it. I don't eat watermelon, so I didn't want to throw any of it out, so I took some of it and I dehydrated it. Which, let me ask you, if you start with something that's 140% water, like watermelon, do you have anything left when you're done? Well, believe it or not, you do. You have a little bit left. Here, I'll show you. These are little pieces of dehydrated watermelon. Just a little bit of flesh left. When they say that it's mostly water, they're not kidding. I mean, I have to admit, I did taste it, even though that's not on my regimen, but I did taste it. I mean, it's not bad. It changed a little bit, but anyways, enough about watermelon. This channel has nothing to do with watermelon. Let me load my Zuka up. I'll be right back. Okay, now I'm back. I know one thing I was going to mention real quick about the dehydrator. So what I have done, I mean, if you decide to do this, let me tell you, your mileage may vary. I dehydrate my beef snacks at 165 degrees for 9.5 hours, give or take. That I've done it for 10. I've done it for 10.5. I've done it every which way possible. But I will admit that 9.5 hours, maybe 10, at 165 is my sweet spot for this. So if you decide to give it a shot, start there. And like I said, your mileage may vary. Okay, do the last bit of this here. I have about a half or a third of a Zuka full of burger for the last tray. I have one more tray under this one, and I'll load up the dehydrator, and I'll take you over to the dehydrator as soon as I'm done with all this prep work, and we'll fire that bad boy up, get this project rolling. See, it's early afternoon, so it'll be a late night tonight with this. That's okay. Be right back. Okay, so I have a question. I'm kind of curious so I kind of divulged my secret desires when it comes to snacks on a carnivore lifestyle. What does everybody else do? What is their favorite? Do they buy snacks that are like sugar free, or I have no idea what's out there. I'm a pretty simple individual when it comes to that, but I'm always curious as to what other people are, eating, and maybe you're not even snacking. You could make the argument that you probably shouldn't snack. And I don't snack all the time, but when I do, well, now you know. I go with beef snacks or brown butter bites, and I make no apologies, no apologies. But what are your guys' favorites? what do you like to use for snacks? I mean, obviously we can talk briefly about what we all eat, but it's pretty much the same thing. I mean, let's get real here. Our diet is extremely simplified. But snacks, on the other hand, I mean, I've done I've I've done bacon. Obviously, you're looking at what I do the most of right here. But I've taken roast, like Costco uh, roast, and I have sliced it up really thin. You know, essentially like jerky, I guess, kind of, but without any of the jerky flavor and all that stuff. Um, quite honestly, this is my favorite. It's probably the simplest and least expensive, and it is awesome.